Hey, what's up everybody? Thanks for tuning in. This is what should be the last in the Route 66 series of videos. Keep in mind we are still going to continue making more videos based on other travels and things that I do. But as far as Route 66, this is the culmination of the trip. And today basically is pretty simple. I'm just going to show all the stuff that I bought on the trip with maybe a little commentary on now looking back. This was back in July, so now here we are in October. Do these things still have, were they more impulsive or were they a way to commemorate the trip? So basically let's get to it. One thing I have copious amounts of are postcards. And the funny thing about postcards is this starts off as something I buy as an insurance policy in case my pictures totally don't come out. However, we don't live in that world anymore where pictures don't come out. So I took over 1,000 photos in 10 days in 8 different states, and I have pictures that are sometimes better than these postcards. Now, some of them I actually send out. I am very old school in a way where I have a circle of people that I like to pen an actual postcard to on my travels. And so I think in the course of the week I was traveling, I sent out about, I don't know, 8 to 10 postcards to a couple different people. Like old school, keeping them abreast of my travels. Some of the more interesting ones are these. I found, I got one for each state that I was in. Missouri, Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas. And what happens is I end up making a photo book with the photos that I've taken, to sort of like a travel log in book form. I don't like everything to be digital. I like physical copies of things, especially big trips I do like this. And so those are going to get in the book. And along with these are harder to read, but I got these other state ones, and they give some facts about the state and the stuff along the route, done in this very old school sort of cartoon format where everything's compressed and you get a map of the state. I like those a lot. I like the hand-drawn sort of look and feel to these. So these I really like because these are going to get repurposed into a scrapbook of sorts for the trip. Some of these other ones, you know, so here's Petroglyphs National Monument in New Mexico. We didn't actually make it that far. If you check out our New Mexico video, you will see that a thunderstorm started as we were barely on top of the trail, and we never got to see these. So that was a nice purchase because I don't think I'll ever get to see that. And I got some from each state. I also like to sort of get ideas on how to take photos, and you can kind of see what gift shops sell, and you're like, oh, I can do that. Like some of these, they're overly photoshopped, and they'll put like animals. Like I debate if this donkey is really there in the in this Arizona one. Some of the stuff looks photoshopped and like green screen almost. But yeah, so postcards, I don't know, always good to have. I need to do better at sending more out. But you know, there are some that I don't have a shot of the red barn in Oklahoma quite like it's depicted here. I couldn't get a good shot of the roof, although I have that shot, so now I'm seeing, oh, if that made a postcard, I certainly can do something like that. But so yeah, ultimately I don't know what's going to happen with all of these. I am going to find on Pinterest or something what people do with old postcards, and maybe incorporate that into a Route 66 themed room in my house or something like that. But yeah, I'm a sucker for postcards. They're not expensive, obviously, $4 for $1 sometimes, $5 for $1 and other times. But yeah, I got them all here. I like these kind of lot. These sort of old school art rendering versions, stuff like that. These I feel like they have real value to do something with. I like these ones a lot. So I got a lot of those from different spots. I got some postcards about the stats on the arch, which I thought was informative. Then there's some really cheesy ones, like this one. I think I just got it because it's sort of inspired by those old-timey postcards, but it doesn't quite hit the mark. It's a little cheesy for me. I don't like overly CGI'd ones. However, I remember now that looking at it, I remember being in this particular store and they didn't have a whole lot of selection. Here's one thing that's hard to avoid. Paperwork, information, stuff I like to use when I do start to put books together. I can comb through here and get vital information. Not that the internet doesn't have these things, but again, I like to reminisce. I like to, you know, eventually I'm going to replan a second trip, so having some of this stuff's going to help. So here's from Oklahoma, information about the historic Red Barn, Miami, Oklahoma. So got a lot of stuff like that. Again, very old school, probably picked up too much paper products. Again, I do some projects with these, incorporate them. Here's another postcard. So stickers are another thing I got. These particular stickers are for In and Out. Before I left my home in Los Angeles, we hit the In and Out company store in Baldwin Park, and a lot of stickers. In fact, some of these need to go back on the car. I don't have any tattoos, but I use the card that showcase where I've been and stuff like that. So I get a lot of stickers. Some go on my Hydro Flask water bottle. I love that, showcasing where I've been. Keepers of the Wild sticker, which is one of the best places we stopped at in Arizona. It's basically a preserve for big cats that can't be released back into the wild. So like I said, love my stickers. Roadkill Cafe, big regret, wish I would have ate there, but we ended up just taking some photos and buying a couple things. Got some more site-specific postcards. These are from the City Museum in St. Louis, our last official stop before we headed home. I love these. I did not get photos quite like this that day. Quite honestly, I didn't have the artistic eye by this point in the trip. It was our 10th day, I believe. There's stuff here that vantage points I didn't get. Here's a great one of the stairwell that's got no people in it, which I could not get that day. It was very crowded. So love site specific. This came in a pack of 5 or 6 for like $5. It was pretty good. Again, these will probably be scrapbook material. With stuff like this, I tend not to send these out. These are more keepsake things for me. So basically what I do is I put together a scrapbook digitally using a service like Shutterfly or something, but then I leave blank spots to put physical pieces on there to give it more texture and, you know, feels more scrapbooky than just digital pictures all over. So I tend to place some of these in there. Then I also get there's a plastic pocket that you can put like stuff in there, receipts and tickets and stuff to give it the scrapbook feel. Anyway, so I do a lot of that. So these will go on there in the Missouri page. I bought these actually before the trip. We have the Route 66 America's Highway map from AAA. And then I bought this Road Trip USA guide before we left, which was actually really good. I had 2 guides and some maps for the trip, both put out by this publisher Moon. I found them both to have varying information that you'd think that the same publisher would have the same information, but this was more of a Cliff Notes fast guide. It wasn't as detailed as the thicker book, which I don't even know is in here. We were at a motel in Texas, the Fabulous 40 Motel. and they had puzzles in frames as part of the decor on the walls. And while I've seen that before, it never really struck me as much. But when you're in the mood, when you're in the zone on these trips, I do like my puzzles, and these sort of commemorate a lot of stuff that we saw. So I picked up this one. These are 2,000 pieces. Sorry for the reflection on there. I am doing this in a makeshift setup in my garage, weeks away from moving into a new house. So I apologize in advance for the makeshift nature of this video. I wasn't anticipating reflections on the products. Please bear with me until I get situated into a more permanent area. So yeah, so 2,000 piece puzzle here. I actually bought two. My wife has instructed me not to put them together until we move because it doesn't make any sense to have to take them all apart. And then I got this one. Again, very good. Highlights the trip. Even reminds me of some of the things I didn't see. So we actually did put this one together, even though that we had to take it apart days later. But these are both put out by a company called, oh no, this one's White Mountain, and I saw a bunch of different puzzles along the route put out by this company, different gift shops and stuff, but I really wanted some that were very Route 66 centric. They have some really good ones for old movie posters and sort of like the Coca-Cola vintage signs and stuff, but I was sticking with Route 66. This is put out by Buffalo. This is put out by a company named Buffalo. Again, don't know how this one looks yet. It feels heavy. Oh, this one's 1,000 pieces. This was twice as many. So those are two of my bigger purchases. Then I have one of my last purchases on the route. Greetings from Route 66, the ultimate road trip back through time along America's Main Street. And this is a very extensive book that goes into tremendous detail, very well made, vintage postcards about every stop, facts, what life was like, receipts, this and that. All sorts of information. Beautiful book to commemorate the drive along the Mother Road. Highly recommend this one. If you're gonna forego like anything else, but you want something to have on the coffee table or on a bookshelf, this is it. I mean, it's got gorgeous photos. This is put out by Voyager Press. This is truly a tribute worthy of the Mother Road. So yeah, I think I got this in Missouri, very early on in Missouri, or the last stop I made in Kansas. And I picked this up during the last part of the route, but it's got some good stuff, and really, I haven't looked through it all extensively yet, but it's got some great stuff in here in terms of stuff that we actually saw, things that don't exist anymore. Highly recommend this as a gift. Then along the route, picked up some root beer, Route 66 root beer. It was good. It's super sweet. They make other flavors. There's Sprite versions and 7-Up versions or something like that. They had a lot of different grape soda I saw. But this says real cane sugar, and it is a lot. If you think you might have cavities, this will let you know. But it was good. I prefer it ice cold. I keep stuff like this. I don't know why, quite honestly. But thought the logo was cool. It's gonna look good on the shelf. Here, got an ornament from City Museum. I love my ornaments for Christmas. It'll go on the tree along with all our other places that we've been. These are always, to me, they're always a good way to commemorate a trip, because at least once a year when you're putting the tree together, at least for me, you can really be at that moment, it's almost the time to reminisce and remember when we got this. So we have a tree. We're actually going to have 2 trees this year. It's mostly loaded with ornaments that means something to us, whether we've been there as a family, or certain eras of places with our kids. So I love, you know, when it comes time to put the tree together, reminiscing about, oh, I remember that trip, stuff like that. So that's very exciting to me. Again, stickers. This is for Miramac Caverns. This is gonna go on the car soon as I make clean off some of the old stickers that the sun has since beaten and faded. I love stickers to go on the car. In fact, the trunk is loaded with places where I've been. What you will notice is I don't buy a lot of big things. There's some stuff along the route that's super tacky. It's one of those things where you're in the moment, that's cool, but when you take it home, it's not going to work. So there was talk, my son wanted a Route 66 lamp. I'm like, no, we're not doing that. I very rarely buy artwork. A lot of it's too expensive. Some of it's not going to fit a motif or a look, or, you know, everyone decorates their houses different. And with us moving into this new house, it can't look like just garbage thrown in the house because we traveled to different places. I want it to look nice. So it's very rare that you find artwork that's going to sort of fit a look. But I go into this Lyle art gallery in Amarillo, Texas by this gentleman named Bob Crocodile Lyle. He's sort of a famous face among the route. And he owns an art gallery that showcases his art, but also he has other artists on display that do a lot of Route 66 themed merchandise. So I did not get it at the time. I saw it on the wall, and it was this beautiful, hopefully you can see it, Santa Monica watercolor. It's got the arch, it's got an old time Woody car with a surfboard on the back. I was in his studio, he was very talkative and telling me about the history of the route and what he does. I'm looking around and I see this print by this artist. His name is Peter Morris. He's very famous as a Route 66 artist. Very gorgeous watercolors. I saw it on the wall, but I'm like, oh, I don't know. It was $40. Again, in the grand scheme of life, not expensive, but you know, $40. We were only halfway through the trip. But I get home and I couldn't stop thinking about it because I had lived in California for 23 years, so I'm more than familiar with this sign. And we purposely started our trip there. So we watched the very first, actually the second video in the series. We start off at Santa Monica because we wanted it, even though the sign says the end of the road, for us it was the beginning. So it just ticked all the boxes. It was, I live there, we started the trip there, I live here now, it commemorates the route. So this one really spoke to me. This is a print of an original. It's 46 out of 100. I had reached out to Peter Morris via Instagram, and he had offered to sell me the original. I haven't really gone down that route yet. When I get to the house, our new house, this will be framed and on display in our house. Then, the heat of the meat of stuff that I like to purchase. T-shirts. Huge t-shirt guy. Petrified Forest. One of my favorite ones because it's not the same old thing. It's a different color. It's bright. This was from Missouri. Vintage Route 66, Missouri. 1926. Love it. Love the worn image on the back. Can't leave the gateway arch without a shirt. So I got this. Anytime the logo looks old, I'm a sucker for that kind of stuff. That sort of Old Navy vintage look. Love that stuff. Love it to look already worn even though it's brand new. Then we got Miramac Caverns. This is a good one. Anyway, I love my shirts. I didn't get one in every state. I should have. I have an In and Out shirt that I bought before we left, but I don't have it with me. I think it's in the laundry. So that's it. So love my shirts. That's definitely a key to this. So there you have it. So all my purchases from my Route 66 trip. This will be the last video in the Route 66 series. We are going to continue to make more videos based on places that I visit. But as far as Route 66, this is the last one. There will continue to be more videos every Tuesday. If you like this video, please hit the thumbs up, like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications to stay informed on all future posts. I'm thinking about posting shorter videos midweek or like later in the week in addition to the videos every Tuesday, but there will be videos every Tuesday. Again, I thank you so much for watching. I thank you so much for all the comments that I've received. Some of you have really boosted my spirits because sometimes it feels like I'm speaking into a void here, so I appreciate the feedback and the engagement that I get on some of these videos. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next one.